Howdy, howdy, everybody. Just wait for a few moments until we have a few more people. Hopefully, yeah, okay. So, welcome to my first live stream. Wow. So we got one person in here, which is pretty cool. Right, so yeah, let's get started with this. Yeah, welcome to my first live stream. So the purpose of this live stream is for me to basically test whether I enjoy it and you guys watching find any value in it. So I don't usually create live streams. I usually record my videos and then edit them. And then I can just kind of remove anything that I don't want to have in them. So with this, it's just basically raw stuff. So anything could happen. Right. So let's get started. What we're going to be doing today. So we're going to be building, well, we're going to be using Oxygen Builder. And we're going to be building this landing page. This is a simple ebook landing page with about 5 sections. And so, yeah, that is what we're going to be doing today. So you can see here on the screen, we have a hero section, an about section, and then kind of an accordion section here with some content, a testimonial section using a grid layout. And then we have another call to action section. So yeah, we're going to be doing this using Oxygen Builder. And so yeah, why Oxygen? Why am I not using something else like Bricks or Breakdance or whatever? I still use Oxygen. And yeah, for smaller projects, one-page projects, landing pages, brochure websites, where I don't need to have the bloat of all the technology in the world just to run a single-page website. And I know a lot of you guys still use Oxygen. Yeah, it's not the best. A lot of folks kind of have moved on to the next best thing, be it Bricks, Breakdance, or something else altogether. But it is what it is. And of course, for this live stream, as I said, this is just a test to see whether I enjoy doing live streams and whether you get any value from it. So I wanted to keep things relatively simple, so we're using Oxygen. So let's jump onto where are we going? So yeah, let's go to the back end here. Nice. Let me just see if I can. Right. Yeah, we'll be back just a second. Okay, that's got rid of Alexa. We don't want her interrupting this. So yeah, we're going to be doing this using Oxygen. So let's jump onto the back end here. I want to show you what I have in terms of the technology that I'm using for this build. Of course, I have Oxygen Builder installed, and the plugins that I'm using are a WP code box for my code snippet and CSS. I like to add custom CSS to my websites when I'm working with any page builder. And I do have Core Framework as well installed, although I have disabled this because how I use Core Framework is I basically kind of add in all of the values for my styling, font sizing and all the rest of it. And then I tend to copy the CSS output and paste it inside of a code snippet inside of WP Codebox. So if I head over here, you see that I have my variables and also my text sizing for fluid typography, border radius, very simple stuff, spacing. I have some classes here, utility classes for my spacing. And then some animations down here. Yeah, not a great deal going on here. So that is all I need for this little project. So if I head over to the front end for the build page, just want to show you something very quickly. So I have some stuff laid out here. If I go inside of the editor, so I have styled or utility classes for the headings. So I'm using heading styles, which is being applied to all of these here. And so if I go into my settings here, oh, hang on a minute, let me just come out of this. Global styles, headings. So the only thing that I've done inside here is basically included my variables for the font sizing. So as you can see here, I have a variable for the H1, H2, H3. I don't have one for the H4, H5, or H6 yet, but I can add these later on if I need to. So, also have utility classes and pre-styled classes for my text styles. And, oh yeah, for the heading and text styles, if I go back to my WB code box here, go to the top. So what I like to do is add some styles, some pre-styles to the text and the heading. Basic things like the color, size, line height. Of course, I could do this inside of the builder quite easily here, but I've always been used to using CSS with page builders, and I just prefer it to go into a snippet here and find what I need to change instead of bouncing from tab to tab looking for whatever I've changed for an element. Yeah, it's just laborious for me, and I've always worked that way with CSS. Of course, not everything here is going to be using utility classes. Obviously, we have some elements that we're going to be styling inside of Oxygen, but for the most part, we're using our variables and utility classes and any other custom classes that I've already pre-styled for this. We are not going to be doing the header and footer section because I've already created these here, as you can see, and I've already talked about this, or I covered this in a previous video. I think I posted a video on Monday. Was it Monday? Yep. So yeah, okay. So enough ranting, let's get started with this. I'm going to go into my structure panel here, and I'm going to delete everything. All right, let's start from scratch. Hopefully you can hear me, guys. If you're watching this on a replay, at the moment we don't have anybody in here, not that I can see. But that is okay, that is perfectly fine. Yeah, let's get started with this. So, inner content. The first thing we're going to do is let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, let's drop in a section in here. Section, and then let's drop in a div. Now, for the section, I need to make it a little bit of room here on my desk. I can barely see anything. Disorganized. So here we go. So this is our ebook hero section. And we'll give this a class as well. Ebook hero sec, and that is the section, isn't it? And then for the div block, this is going to be a container, though I do have some classes here, utility classes for my column layouts. And what I want to do is I want to use a 3-2 layout, I think. Like so. And let's also, excuse me, guys. Yeah, let's also add some divs inside here. 2 divs. All right. So let's go back to the section. I also have a class for my viewport height, I think. Yeah, viewport 80 here. And then I'm going to go back to my ebook hero class. Nope, wrong place. I think it's this one. Yeah, set this to the center like so. Okay, let's go to this one here. And let's add some items inside here. So what are we going to add? A heading element. Followed by a text. Followed by another div. And then inside of this div, we're going to add a button. Yeah, let's come out of this. Let's just open this up. Oops. So let's rename this. This is our columns container. And then we have our left div. Right div. So yeah, we're inside the left block or div or container or whatever. Let's add, we've got a heading text. Yeah, we want to add another div, I think. And then inside here, we'll just go ahead and add an icon, followed by a text element. Okay, I think that is everything. Yeah. And inside of the right div, let's go ahead and add an image element. Yeah, perfect. Okie dokie. So, let's have a drink of coffee. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I have no idea if any of this is working because I just assume it's all working. So the levels are up for the mic. Yeah, let's just assume everything's working. We don't have anybody actually watching, so I can't get any feedback from anybody, but this could be a complete waste of time. Right, so let's get to work with this. So we're going to add some spacing inside of our left div here. And I think I have a utility class, yeah, for my gaps. So I'm going to use medium, I think. Yeah, we could use a utility class, or what we could also do is let's just get rid of this here. Let's go to the actual, yeah, we don't have a class for that. I could add my spacing in here, so gap. So we could use a variable space m, and we need to get rid of this. So yeah, if I go back to my WP box here, we have our variable here somewhere. Space tweet. Am I losing my mind here? Oh, here we go. Space M. So that is using the clamp function of this. Sorry, that is using the clamp function. So yeah, that'll be responsive on the other viewports for adjusting space between our elements. So that is fine. Let's now style the heading. And again, I have a utility class for this. So heading styles, first of all. So I'm just going to unlock this to show you what I have inside here. So I've created a heading styles class. And the only thing I've done in here is changed the font family. Okay, so that is that. The other styles that has been added to this class, as I mentioned earlier, I think I already mentioned this, I've done so inside here. So heading styles, yeah, the color, the line height, of course, again, I think I've already mentioned this, but we could have easily added this inside here rather than use CSS, but this is how I've always done things and prefer to do it that way. So we have our heading styles. I also want to add another class that I've pre-styled here, and that is the H1L. So you can see that our font is much larger here. And this is a class that I've created for the hero heading here. That's fine. Let's change the text inside here to read something else. Oops, where am I going here? So, the ultimate freelancer's guide to survival. Survival of what? Who knows? Right, that's cool. And that is all we need to do for this for the time being. Let's go to the text component here. And what I'm going to do just to save some time is I'm going to copy all of this from my dummy website and hopefully paste this inside here. It might work. Here we go, that's better. So again, I have a utility class for this one. So that is going to be text styles. And I do have another one, actually. No, this is not the right one. Let's remove that. It is, let's go back to text. Oops. What am I typing? Text, subtext styles. This is the one. Okay, so font family set to Georgia. Text color is body. Again, using a variable. Font size using the text M variable. And that is all there is to it. So I'm going to lock this as well. Yeah, great. Okay, buttons next. So let's have a look. Do I have any classes for my button? I don't think, or maybe I do. Here we go. So I have a button class. And again, I want to show you what I have inside here. So basically, some spacing using variables, and then typography using another variable. Borders, we have a border radius here using a variable. So we're using variables for pretty much everything. And then we have an effect set to 0.3 seconds for a transition. And the transition is for another class that I have here. So I have two classes for my buttons, two additional classes. I have a button light and dark. So here I can use a button light class. And then what I can do is duplicate this. For the second button, I can just change this around to my button dark. Button dark class. Here we go. Now, we want to organize things a little bit better in here. So column, left, div, heading, hero heading. I'm having trouble typing on my keyboard for a couple of reasons. One, I can't really see the keyboard with this mic in the way, and it doesn't matter where I move it on the desk, I just can't see it. The other thing is it's damn cold where we are. Pretty cold. And as you know, if we stick the heating on, it's like, yeah, it costs a fortune to run the heating. You need to remortgage your house to keep yourself warm in the winter in the UK, so yeah. Right, so hero, heading, yeah, let's continue renaming these. This is our intro text or subtext, whatever you want to call it, or body text. Sub. And then we have the, what is this? That's the, have we renamed something? So that's the column layout, left div. Oh, this is the button container. Container, and then we have our button light and button dark. My fingers are numb. Okay, so we have another div here. We'll get to that in just a second. So let's go to the button container. We don't have a class for this, and we really don't need to have a class, or we could. Let's give it a class. Button container. Keep it simple. And then we can set the layout of child elements to horizontal. Let's add a gap in here as well. So we'll use a variable space M. Space M is the one I tend to use all the time. So let's copy this, add it to our clipboard. Change this value to none. I'm just going to have a quick look and see what I have. Nope, that's not right. I thought that was a bit large, so let's try it. Space small. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so let's, we'll come back and make this responsive in just a second. Let's move over to the next one here. This is a container with an icon. We don't need a class for this, surely? No. Let's go ahead and set this to horizontal, vertical item alignment to the middle, and gap space S. Again, I could use a gap utility class that I have here, gap S, but yeah. Okay, for the icon, I have some utility classes for that as well, pre-styled. Icon, medium, very nice. And let's change this to be a star. I'm going to use this one here. And then I'm going to, hold on a second, let's see what I've got here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to duplicate this several times. Where do we do this? Up here. Oh, yeah. We don't want to have a space in here. So this one here, all I'm going to do is, yeah, I need to give this the text class, text styles. And then I'm going to select the ID. Oops, wrong place. Size and spacing. And let's add a... Oh my God. Space XS in here. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Let's change this last one here to something like this. And then in here, we're going to change the text to read. $120 people like this. Do they? I don't know. Okay, so buy now. I need gloves for my fingers. Can't type because they're so numb, cold. Right, so this was subscribe for a free copy. There we go, that looks quite nice here as it is. So we want to do a few more things here. So I'm going to select the hero heading here. I'm going to highlight the ultimate. I'm going to use the span tool up here. And I think I have some utility classes for my spans. Tertiary is the main color that I'm using, or the blue color that I'm using for this project. And then light is white. And then this is something else altogether. So I'm going to use this one here. All right, and I'm going to do the same for the 120 people in here. Let's do the same for this one. Span tertiary. Okay, let's save. Looking pretty good. Okay, so for our image element here, we are going to change this. Yeah, let's use this image here for our ebook. And then we're going to, let me just have a quick look and see, what am I doing? Yeah, let's... Yeah, I'm going to go back to the hero section. I'm going to select the ID. No, sorry, not the hero section. The columns here, and select the ID. And set the horizontal item alignment to the center. All right, so far so good. Right, the other thing I want to do is I have if I go to the demo site here very quickly, I have this yellow, I have this blue polka dot background here. And that is, how I've done that is, there's a website called Magic Pattern Design, and you can get a bunch of CSS background patterns that you can use in your projects. Some of them are free, some of them comes with a paid plan, but it's worth checking out because you can customize the colors, the density, I guess, of the pattern, and change their dimension and all the rest of it, and then you can just copy the CSS output. And that is basically what I've done here. And if I go back here to my WP code box, go to main styles, I've actually pasted this inside here so you can see this is the CSS output that I've gotten from this website. And then I've basically given it a class here. Just close this. And then I've used that class inside here. So I do have it somewhere here. Background dotted. There we go. Let's save that. And then finally, for our button, guess what? We have another class that I've pre-styled using some CSS to add a glow, glow effect, I suppose. Hover glow. I'm not too sure why I've named it hover glow, but this is the CSS snippet that affects the glowing effect that you see on this button here. So let's just go ahead and add this inside here. Hover, glow. And let's just save this and have a quick look on the front end because we actually haven't done this yet. So right click, open in a new tab. And there we go. That looks pretty cool. Something strange is happening up here. I'm not too sure why that is like that. Let me just have a quick look and see what's going on up here. Oh, you know what we've done? We've added this to the wrong place. So we've added our background effect to the columns and not the section. Here we go. That's better. And I think that is it. Just looking. Let's go back and refresh this. Much better. Let's have a quick look at our demo here. I wonder if I'm using yeah, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can quickly remove this viewport height class. I don't think that's going to make any difference here. No, I do have another one. Viewport 100. Where am I adding this? Yeah. Let's go to styles layout. Oops, wrong place again. Size and spacing. I'm pretty sure I have this inside of my viewport height 80. Oh, I don't have one for 100. Or do I? Width. That's strange. I do. I'm just looking in the wrong place. So maybe we need to add the important tag in here. save this and go back to the front end and refresh this. Which one am I using? That's definitely not working here. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh, what? I don't know how to pronounce your name, mate. MK Halifi? Hello. Thanks for joining the live stream. So what we're doing is basically building a landing page with Oxygen Builder. So we're building this single page here, as you can see here. And so at the moment, we're on the hero section, taking a bit of time, but we're in no rush, so it doesn't matter. Let's get rid of this viewport 100. And do you know what I'm going to do? This isn't working here, so I'm going to remove this here. I don't think it's working anyway. Let's leave this here as well. I'm going to actually style this. Oh, I've removed it. Viewport 100. Let's actually do this here. That's better. Funny, it was working on the demo site that I created. I'm not too sure why it's not working here. So let's just refresh this. That's better. Much better. Okay, let's not get too nitpicky with this. Let's go and check the other breakpoints inside here. So this is nice. In fact, let's just go to right click here and inspect. Resize this. Yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. We could probably modify the what's going on down here? Oh, looks a bit strange, doesn't it? It's that image, it's too big. So for here, it's fine. Here, it's a bit too big. In fact, let's just go back to this one here and just set this to the center to begin with. Yeah. I'm going to go to less than 992 pixels and let's just resize this to 50% or something. I'm sure I placed that into the center here. So why is it not? Oh yeah, of course, everything is aligned to the left here. That's a little bit better. Maybe here we go back to 100%. Yeah, okay, let's save. We can continue modifying this until the cows come home, but for the sake of this, we'll play around with that later. Yes, you should be able to watch this video on a replay later on. I shall be posting it on the channel, so you'll be able to see where I talk about the code snippets and the utility classes that I have created here for this little project. This is a combination of my own CSS with the output that I've gotten from the core framework plugin. So basically, if I go to plugins here, oops, let me just save this before. I don't think I've modified this in any way. So plugins, yeah, I have core framework installed, and then basically I've added all of the values inside of core framework, font sizing, color, all the rest of it, and the output, the CSS output, I've simply copied and pasted inside of a code snippet inside a WP code box. That's how I've always done things, and it just works for me. And if I need to change anything, I can always go back and enable core framework and change a few things, but it's saved on this website, so I don't have to go through the whole process again and then just copy the output. Or I can just modify this myself on the back end. I have done this. I've added a few additional shades here manually, and then all of the utility classes and the variables I added inside of Oxygen as I kind of go along with the build. That is all there is to it. So let's go back to here. I think the hero section is done. Otherwise, I'll be here till Christmas 2036 doing this. Let me just save this and let's check this one last time. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to go to the, where is this hero section? Oh yeah, one thing we want to do as well is, yeah, this doesn't look very good here, does it? What did we have for the image? Did I not? I thought I changed that. Or was it the actual container that I bet it was this. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. What am I doing here? And then somewhere else here, I made another adjustment. When I'm actually building websites, it does take me quite a while. I like to take my time with things. I'm not one of those who like to kind of rush through things. I just like to take my time, and I enjoy the process of building websites. You know, I'm all for kind of working efficiently and having, you know, sort of speed builds and stuff like that. But if you don't enjoy it, then what's the point? So here, what I want to do is I have the image selected here. Let's go 50%. Did I say 50%? Let's try 75%. Or maybe 50%. And then here we can go back to 75% maybe? What did I do here? Yeah, 50, 75. And then here we could do 100. Yeah, that's fine. It's not quite flush with this, is it? And I think that is because, let's go to the columns here. I'm going to unlock this because I just want to see. I don't remember what I had up here. What did I do? 3. That's fine here. That's better. Yeah, okay. Much better. Or does it need to be here? Yeah, maybe it needs to be here. Yeah, and then here, obviously, it should inherit from that breakpoint. So yeah, okay, that's fine. Save. Let's move on. Right, so we have our hero section. Let's go back to the inner content, add another section in here. And so we're going to be looking at this about section. Now, this shouldn't take us forever to do, hopefully. But it doesn't matter. I have all the time in the world. So this is going to be our about section. And then we are going to add a div inside here. And I have a container class here, and I can just drop my items inside here. So I have a heading. Heading, yep. Followed by a text. Followed by an image. Okie dokie. And so that is all we need. Now I'm just going to quickly go through these other ones here. Yeah, so I have another class actually that I can use for this one here. And that is, I can't remember what it was, text center. So text center basically at this breakpoint, I think, or is it this one? Yeah, just, nope, it doesn't even work. Let's go back and have a look why that is. Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, it's because I've added it in the wrong place. I needed to add it to the text element. Text center. There we go. And then this one as well. We'll start with that. So let's just check this now. Yeah, that's better. So everything aligns to the left under text center for that class. So now we can continue styling this with our other utility classes. So I have heading. What have I just typed in here? Yeah, heading. I still got that wrong. I really can't see the keyboard here because of this microphone. So I have no idea what I'm typing half the time. Heading styles. That's the one. All right, so let's change this to read something like about the author. And hopefully you can still hear me because I've moved the mic now. Okay, so about the author, we also want to go back to the ID, change this tag to a H2. And then I'm going to, select the first character in this heading. Click on span. I have a class for this to style this a little bit. Span first character. Just adds a little bit of styling to the bottom one here. I also get that when using local. Yeah, it can be a little bit buggy sometimes. That was the other question. Why does the default image appear broken? No idea. No idea. It could be WB local, but when there is nothing in the image element, you have this little broken icon, which is crazy. Or maybe it's just Oxygen. It's getting old. Okay, so where were we? So about the author, let's just copy some text inside here. I'm going to copy this and paste it inside of my paragraph text here, V. We want to style the text a little bit. So again, utility classes, text styles, and then I have another class, another utility class, which I can use to affect the widths. And the one I want to use is width 50, like so. We could use that here as well. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, we need to refresh this. Here we go. Yeah, we could add it here as well, come to think of it now. Let's just add the width 50 class in here. No, that doesn't look right, does it? I don't think it's... Oh no, that's width 90. Okay, let's get rid of that. Looks goofy. I didn't even think width 90. That's a little bit better. Okay, let's have a quick look on the front end, refresh. Yeah, much better. Okay, let's continue with this. So back to the editor, wherever that is. Here we go. So now this broken icon here we have for the image. Why is that like that? I don't know. Browse. I'm going to use this picture here. And that actually has a transparent background, but I do have, I'm just seeing if I have a class. I don't think I have a class for this, but I could create one, you know. Am I going to be using this again? Probably not. Not if it's just a single landing page. So let's add a border in here. Border all. For the color, I'm going to use my variable. If I can see the screen. Variable. And then tertiary. For the color. Let's add 5 pixels in here. Solid. And for the border radius, we're going to have radius. Oh, no, another variable. Radius M. No, we need to get rid of this, don't we? Here we go. Radius M, that doesn't look right. Or is it radius full? Do I have a radius full class? Yeah. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Let's save that. That's all we're going to do to that one, I think. Did we have, yeah, our container here. Let me just go to advanced, unlock this. So for the layout, no, not the layout, the spacing, I have, I don't think, do I have? Yeah, my variable for the gap here. And that is perfectly fine. Save that again. Let's go back and lock this up. And check these other breakpoints. That's fine, that's fine. Text is resizing there, and then it aligns to the left. And yeah, that is fine. We could continue tweaking this, but let's just leave that as it is. Okay, so that is the About section. About container. And then heading, we could change that to About the Author. If I'm going to do more live streams in the future, I need to get this set up properly. Because it's all over the place here. I was spending the last few days testing everything, and I couldn't get my camera to work. I couldn't get so many things to work. It was just a logistical nightmare, but hopefully we'll get there. So that is our paragraph text or body text. And that is our author image. What we could also do is probably use a, you don't have to use an image in here. You could go to dynamic data, I think it is, and use a, do we have an author image? Meta custom field. I suppose you could have that if you have custom field set up, but yeah, anyway. Okie dokie, so that is fine. Let's minimize everything. Let's go back to inner content. So the next part of our landing page is this. Oh my goodness, that's going to take a little bit of doing, but we'll do what we can. I feel there's something missing here. Yeah, there is. So here, we haven't given this a class. So let's do that. About section. That'll do. And for the background, we have a variable for that. I'm going to paste it in here. Here we go. That looks a little bit better. Separates that from the hero section. Okay, so let's go to this one. That's that. Yeah, let's go to the inner content. Let's go and add a section, add a div. Let's add a class for the section. So this is, we actually don't have a class for that, but Yeah, it doesn't matter. So for the container here, we'll rename this here though. What could we use? Chapters section. Or something like that, doesn't matter. So this is going to have a column class of 2.3, I think. It is 2.3. Okie dokie. And inside here, let's add some divs. 1, 2. The spacing is all fine here, I think. You know, I could always go back and change the spacing. So here I'm using, so yeah, where are we? So this is a, let's just unlock this. I've locked everything up. So this is using a grid layout. So I have space S here. I could change this to space M for medium. Here as well. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more space. And then here as well, I could change the space here and here as well. So, yeah. Okay, so because we're using utility classes, we don't have to go through every single component. We can just find a class and change it. All of the columns class and change the spacing. So, okay, so inside here, I have a accordion component. Accordion. Or accordion. Okay, and we'll style that in just a second. But inside here, inside the right div, I have a text. Let's duplicate this because we need 2 text and then a heading. Now for the heading, what I'm going to do is just duplicate this one here. And then dragging things from here to here is sometimes a nightmare. So what I'm going to do is open up this one here and drag this in between the 2 text elements. Oh no, I've got this wrong. Right div, left div. I've not done the same thing up here, have I? No, that's fine. Okay, so left, right, and then we have our accordion. This is going to be our, what is that, subtext? Text before. Don't think I have a class for this one, and that is going to be, I'll just leave that as a heading. Body text. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to go and copy my dummy text. Hopefully you can still hear me, guys, and paste it inside of here. Okay, that is fine. And yeah, so let's change this to read something like, what's inside? What's inside? All right, save. Now for this, I'm going to come out to the ID and not the columns and set the horizontal item alignment to the center. This always confuses the crap out of me. Why is there a vertical line here and a horizontal line here, and this is vertical item and this is horizontal item alignment? That my brain doesn't work that way. Anyway, who gives a shit? Let's continue with this. So we have, where's the accordion? Here's our accordion. So let's style this a little bit. And I always have a lot of fun styling the accordions because, especially inside of Oxygen, it is a complete nightmare to do so. But we're going to try our best to make it look like this. I took a lot of time doing this, believe it or not. Spent one night with my laptop in bed customizing this. So yeah, let's just hope I can repeat this. So what I'm going to do, I think, is we have content row, content row, content. Let's delete this one, content row, and let's delete this one. And let's delete this one. So we just have one. Row, content. Is that right? What am I even looking at here? Row content. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to go to the accordion row first. Actually, before we do anything else, let's set the width of this up here to 100%. My tummy's rumbling. I'm hungry. Okay, so that's set to 100%. And then whilst I'm in here, I'm going to get rid of this silly looking icon here. So let's get rid of that. And for this icon here, I'm going to actually change this to something else. So let's use arrow, see what we have. No, I don't like any of those. Yeah, it's this one, isn't it? Yeah, that's better, I think. We'll test it in a minute and we can change it if it's not the right one. Okay, so that is fine. And I'm also going to give this a class, which is going to be... Or do I not need to give this a class? No, I can just change the color. Yeah, I'm going to change the color. Let's come out of this, get rid of this color here. Okay, that's fine. The text here, let's change the color of that as well. To light, this accordion row, we have a background shade for that as well. In fact, we have quite a few styles for this. So I'm going to change this color to, oops, wrong place, background color. We use a variable light, and then, ooh, hang on a minute. That's not right. Wrong place. Never works inside here. Let's go to background, add it here. That didn't work. I'm sure I have a variable for my light shades. Let's go back to the WBCO box. Light 5. Or is it here? Oh. Oh, now it suddenly works. Okay. That was a bit strange. Or did I have something else selected. I don't know. All right, so that's fine. Let's leave that as it is. And then for the text block, so that's fine. That's this one here, the text. So here I'm using text body, I think. Yeah, text color, text body. And I think that is it. Right, I'm just going to save this, have a quick look on the front end, refresh. We haven't refreshed this in a while. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Almost there. No, that's the wrong way around. So we need to change that. Let's go back here. So this icon is... Let's try that one. I'm sure that should work. Oh yeah, that's better, I think. I think it is. Okay, so let's go back. There's only one more thing I want to do, I think, and that is to... Yeah. The border. Not the icon, the row, sorry. Borders. Bottom. I just want to change this color. And then there is something else. There is something else. I know there is. Let's go back and have a quick look. Oh, did I save that? Refresh. Yeah, that's a bit better. Let's go in here and yeah, the hover state. Background. This is light 10. So let's go back to original. Let's also add a transition, 0.3 seconds. Save. Refresh. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so we have our accordion styled. Didn't take very long. Just couldn't remember where everything was. So so we have content. Yeah, let's minimize the content. Oh yeah, so accordion row content. So now what we could do is we could duplicate this. So let's, yeah, we can't hold down Command and D like we can in, is it Command Shift and D like we can in bricks. So let's just duplicate this here. Let's drag this down here. And then let's duplicate the content. Drag this down here. Duplicate the row again. And you can have as many as you want. It really doesn't matter. Let's add one more, shall we? Okay, let's save. Let's go to the front end, refresh. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, we could add some padding as well, or change the background color of this here. Yeah, definitely add some padding inside here. Maybe. The accordion content, that is, isn't it? I think I'm using a variable for that, space M, I do believe it is. Let's add this inside here, size. Space M. Let's get rid of this. Can we apply this all? Apply all? I don't know whether that's worked or not. You can't really see it here. Let's refresh it. Okay, so that's definitely worked. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Or maybe it works. I don't know. But yeah. So we can go ahead and change the name of all of these now. So we can add something like... what do we have? 22 chapters. What? And then here we could change this to... "12 expert interviews," and this one could be... "23 worksheets," and then 6 bonus lessons. Oops, lessons. Videos. What, inside of an ebook? Yeah, whatever. Maybe they're links to bonus videos. They can be anything. Let's go inside here and paste some dummy content here. Let's do the same here. There we go. Just like that. Refresh. Still rocking Oxygen. Yeah, it's still a great builder. Yeah. It isn't the best builder in the world by far. You know, I know a lot of people prefer bricks for all the right reasons, of course, but I think Oxygen still works for, as I said at the beginning of this live stream, I still use Oxygen for small projects, one-page website, brochure websites, wedding websites where, you know, the website isn't going to be around for very long, or it has, you know, it doesn't need all of the technology that Bricks has or these other builders. It would be a waste of time to, you know, create a one-page website or a brochure website and using a builder that's designed to do a lot more. You know, Oxygen still works. You know, people say it's dead, and I understand what they mean by it's dead. I mean, it's not what it, you know, there isn't any real significant updates anymore apart from a few bug fixes and updates to existing features, or maybe if, you know, whatever, but there isn't anything new coming out. And also, you know, we know that Oxygen is built on a redundant framework now, so there is that. So, but it still works. I don't think it's completely dead. I mean, it still works, you know. If we were like 4 or 5 years down the line, maybe, then yeah, definitely wouldn't. I don't think many people would be using Oxygen, but yeah, it isn't gonna die anytime soon, at least for the next couple of years. I have my main website, Van Marciano Pro, running on Oxygen still, and I do plan to kind of migrate it over to Bricks this year, only because I need to make use of some of the features that Bricks has. Oxygen clearly doesn't have those features. Simple things, native form builder, other things. What's the other one? Off-canvas element. I like that as well. Yeah, a bunch of other things as well. Components now. Templating is a lot simpler in Bricks. Yeah, but I'm still going to be using Oxygen, as I said, for one-page projects, brochure websites. Oxygen is fine. You don't need anything else. Jesus. Okay, so let's continue with this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to save this, and we'll check it. Oh, we haven't done this, so here we need to customize these elements a little bit. So who do we have? Came from the Oxygen, love Bricks a lot. A little mature, grown. Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's not dead, yeah. It still works. Oxygen still works. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit when people say Oxygen is dead, but I fully understand what they mean. When you've used Bricks and all of the features of Bricks and you realize how amazing it is, yeah, there's no comparing Bricks with Oxygen. But there's a special place in my heart for Oxygen. When I started using it, dabbling with it back, I think it's 2018 or 2017, or I think it was 2018. Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Because I originally was using, what was I using? Genesis, a custom Genesis child theme. And that was a nightmare to customize child themes. And you couldn't always get what you wanted to get out of it. You know, you couldn't customize certain elements properly without diving into the functions file or modifying CSS. It was a logistical nightmare. But yeah, page builders had certainly made WordPress a lot better. I always keep saying if it wasn't for page builders like Oxygen and then discovering bricks and then breakdowns, I don't think I'd be using WordPress. I would have probably end up moving over to something like Wix, maybe, I don't know, or Webflow. But there it is. So what's inside? Let's have a quick look. I have a class for this. And I've styled this a little bit, so let's give this a class. Text before. Text before. That's a bit of a weird name, but hey ho. Let's go to typography, font. No, we're not touching any of those things here. So we're using a variable text m for our font sizing. Color. We're using a shade for this as well. Font weight is fine. Letter spacing, let's add 2 pixels. We also want to set the text transform to uppercase, and that is all we want to do, basically. So for the text, we have a class for that, which is text styles. And the rest of this is fine. Now I'm going to use a do I want to use a class for the gap, or do I just want to use a variable? Let's just use a variable. So I'm using space m gap. I'm going to copy this from my clipboard here, so I don't have to keep typing in. Paste. Did that even work? No. Yeah, we need to change this. That's the other annoying things with the other annoying thing with Oxygen is you have to keep changing this. I don't think, can you change this globally? I don't think you can. I remember looking, but I don't think you can change global values here. The default values to something else. It doesn't matter. All right, let's save this. Let's go and have a look on the front end, refresh. Okay, I'm happy with this. We could add a few more here if we wanted to, but let's check the responsiveness of this as well. Yeah, that's fine. It works. And that is because these classes, these column classes that I'm using here, I already these are already sort of optimized for various viewports. They're taken from core framework, of course, so yeah, they work perfectly fine. The other thing that we haven't done yet, and we can always go back and do this later on, is we want to add some attributes to some of these. So for the image, for example, we can go into attributes, alt, and maybe add this, something like ebook cover. And then we could add another one. And this could be something like an ARIA label. What's happening? Does that not? Why is there a warning up here? Name may only contain underscores, hyphen. That's what I used. Okay, so that could be something like cover. Oh my God, cover of ebook. Yeah, so we could go through some of these and add some attributes. Here we could add another one here. Attributes, alt. Author, image. Oh, maybe I did use a different character. Image of author's face. Oh no, we can't use that one. Just, here we go. Apply. So yeah, we can make some of this a little bit more accessible. But yeah, that's we can do that later. All right, let's save. Let's move on. Let's go back to the structure panel. Let's collapse everything. Have I renamed everything inside here? Left div, right div, yeah. Chapters section. Let's go back to inner content, drop in another section. Another div. What's next? We have the landing page. So we have this layout next. Testimonials. So here, I think, yeah, let's give the section a class first of all. Can't see my keyboard that well. I'm going to move it a little bit further away from me so that I can literally see the keys. Testimonials. Section. Did I spell that right? Nope. Test. Testimonials section. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see what the hell I'm typing. Okay, and then this is going to use a column class again. And we're using 3.2. Let's add our 2 divs inside here. And the first div is actually going to be, well, we can actually create a custom grid for this. So let's create a grid from scratch. So this is going to be ebook testimonials grid, I think, or testimonials section __ grid. Okay. And we'll set this layout to grid, number of columns, let's set that to 2, minimum width 0, and then we're going to add space M inside here. I'm just going to copy my variable, space M, what is that? Okay, get rid of this, none. The same for the gap here as well. I think that is it. That's all we want to do. And so inside here, let's add 1, 2, 3 divs. Now, this is where we need to go down to, let's select the grid once again, come down here to the child span override. Let's select the 3rd one and add the value of 2 in here. Okay, perfect. So this one is, yeah, so in this one here, we actually don't have a class for this one, but we can add our heading. So I'm going to duplicate this. No, I can't right click and duplicate. Oh, I can right click and duplicate, can't I? So yeah, I forget that I can do this inside of Oxygen now. So let's duplicate that, and we want to drop it inside here. We need to rename some of this here, otherwise I'm not going to know what I'm doing. So this is the section, testimonial section. Okay, this is our columns layout, 3, 2 column layout. This is our testimonials grid. What? Let's try that again. Testimonials grid. Testimonials grid. And then we have our grid items inside here. Copy. What? What have I just copied? I thought I copied the text. Maybe, no, element copy to, yeah, let's try and do it this way. Copy. So this is the other grid item. And that's the third grid item with a row span of 2, I think it, isn't it? So that I know what it is. And then this one is just an empty content block. We could write div. And that's our heading, which is going to be renamed to ready to get the ebook. Let's get rid of the R. Inside here we have a span, and we can change that character to R. Save. Okay, so let's go back to the div, drop in a text followed by a button. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and copy my dummy text. And paste it inside here. Hopefully, guys, you can still hear me. Microphone's drifted from my face. Okay, and the button, I have 2 classes for this. BTN and then BTN dark. I want to use the dark one. Let's change the text to read, submit your testimonials. Submit your okay, yes, that's fine. All right, let's add a little bit of spacing in here. Again, we can use a class gap S or M. I think I've got I'm using M, but I am using a variable as well, so yeah, we have that choice. If you're using variables, maybe it's a good idea to stick with variables rather than bounce from class to variables. Otherwise, you'll never know where things are. So space M. Just as a reminder where I'm getting all these variables from, I have a code snippet inside of WP Codebox that I've named Oxygen Builder Utility vars and pre-styled classes here. So from the top, I have all of the styling that affects this little project. So I have my root font size set here. The background body, I have a variable which I've added a value inside here somewhere. Background body, here we go. So it's using a hexadecimal value for that. And then I have some pre-styled a pre-styled class for the text and heading. Okay, and then some variables for a bunch of stuff. Primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. I have the background, text body, heading, color, shades for the border, a border color, shadow, primary, and then various shades, darkness. And then these are for, the success and errors are for things like warnings, for forms, submission, warnings, and various other stuff. And some spacing here using the clamp function, CSS clamp function, which makes the spacing fluid responsive on the other viewport sizes. I couldn't find my words at the start of this live stream, and I was just ranting a load of rubbish. So yeah, and then we have hero titles, nav space, some for our radius, border radius, again using the clamp function, and some shadow here. And this is a bunch of utility classes, again from Core Framework. So how I've done this is I have the Core Framework plugin installed, although it doesn't show here because I've deactivated it. So I generate all of the styles via CSS, copy the CSS snippet, paste it inside of this code snippet here. And then I can just customize this and add my own CSS and have a sort of a mix of Core Framework and my own CSS to create this framework. And that's how I generally work with Oxygen. With Bricks, I don't really use my own CSS. I now sort of get everything from core framework, and I spend a little bit more time. I do have the add-on plugin for bricks as well, which makes it a lot easier adding the variables and classes to elements. I'm not having to copy from a clipboard and paste it into here like I am with Oxygen. With bricks, we have a picker. Like I could go in here and right-click, and I have kind of a pop-up. The core framework has a pop-up. You can select the colors, you can select the spacing, size, grid layout options, and all the rest of it. And I do have a separate video tutorial over on Van Marciano Pro where I talk a lot, I dive deeper into using core framework with bricks. If you want to check it out, I will link to it in the description. But anyway, we're using Oxygen today, so that is that. Okay, so let's go back to the project here. So that's nice. Yeah, we need to change this to none. And then we didn't add our class to the text. So text styles. Again, if I wanted to adjust or sort of, tweak the shade of the typography here, all I would need to do is go into my WP box here and find, so this is using text styles. Yeah, so we are using text body is the class. So I could go in here. Text. Where's the colors? It's up here, isn't it? Maybe I should reorganize this so I can, here we go, text body is just thrown into the middle here. So I can go into here and adjust the color. Maybe if it's too dark, I could just lighten it up a little bit. Let's say we want to pick that one. Let's just save. And I've got a feeling I may need to refresh the builder as well to see this. So let's just refresh this. You can see that the text has changed slightly. I don't know if you can see this, but it's a little bit lighter. So yeah, we wouldn't have to go through each of these components or mess around with the settings inside of the global styles and change the color. We can just do that inside of our code snippet here. Just one line of code, we can just adjust this here. And as long as our typography is using the text styles class that I've created here, it means all of these text components, including these other ones here, this is subtitles, because it's using the same class, which is text body. Okay, so there you go. Let's lock that back up and continue with this. So let's focus on our grid items here. So I have some classes for this. First of all, I want to give this a new class. So let's go testimonial underscore. Let's see what we got. Testimonial section grid item. Okay, and we want to style this a little bit. Let's set the layout to vertical. Everything is going to be set to vertical alignment to the middle here, like so. I'm going to copy my variable here for the gap. I have one for the background color as well. And there we go. And that is all we need to do, I think. I don't think we need to do anything else. Spacing, let's go back here. Oh, yeah, spacing. We need to add some padding. So here we're using another variable, space medium. And then we can apply all, like so. And then I'm going to add my radius class here. Radius, I'm going to be using medium as well for that. Perfect. So let's add some content inside here. I'm going to add an image. Where's my mouse going? Wow, what did I do? Right, let's start again. Image. Followed by a text. And that is that. For the image, I'm going to actually give this another class. So this is going to be testimonial, testimonial section grid item. IMG for image. Yeah, let's just use that. And then I'm going to set the, what do we want to do? Well, let's go into advanced a second and see what options we have. Size and spacing. Well, actually, let's add an image inside here to begin with. Let's go to, yeah, let's select it. What's happened? Yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Browse, I'm going to use this one here. And then I'm going to style this a little bit. Okay. So width, 100%, height, 50 pixels. That's not right. Forget all that. Height, width 50 pixels. Yeah, not percent, pixels. Here we go. And then we're going to go to advanced borders. Border radius. Radius. VAR. Radius. Oops. Radius full. That's the utility that I have. Not utility, the variable. Oops. Here we go. And then let's add a border, I think. So color. Tertiary. Let's add a 2 pixel solid. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm going to increase the size of the image. Yeah, that's fine. Now for the text, we have our, is it called the before text? Yeah, no, it's not before text. It is subtext styles. Here we go. Perfectly fine. So I'm going to copy, oops, copy some dummy text and paste it inside here. And this could be our author name, Timothy the Octopus. Timothy the Octopus has left us a testimonial. Although Timothy got eaten. So span, and then let's go and add a span class to this. And we have one already created, which is span light. Perfect. Let's save that. I'm going to delete these other ones in here. So that is our first grid item. Let's collapse that. That's our other grid item. I'm going to just copy this text a minute. And then I'm going to duplicate this one 2 more times, like so. And then I can just rename this here. Okay, so let's go back to the columns grid. We want to select the ID and set the horizontal item alignment to the center. All right, let's go and have a look at this on the front end. And that's looking pretty good. My tummy's still rumbling, but never mind. Now I think I'm going to, let's go back to this columns class. I changed that to S, didn't I? Maybe I want to go back. Let's have a look at this one. This using 2.3 as well. And that's using medium. I think medium was better. So I'm going to change the gap here, because M, and there's one up here as well. Okay, so let's keep this consistent. Otherwise, it's going to look weird with small gaps, medium gaps, large gaps. And so, yeah, that's much better. And whilst we're in here as well, for this columns class, let's lock this. All of these should be locked, but I don't think I've locked them all. Because for this tutorial, I wanted to show you how I had things set up. The container is locked. Yeah, everything else is locked. Okay, so we're making progress here, looking pretty good. Let's have a quick look at these other viewports here. Why did we jump down here? Because we've got this selected here. Let's have a look at these other viewports here. That is acceptable, I think. That is acceptable. Again, because we've already optimized this using our utility classes and variables. And that is okay, I guess, I think. Let me just have a quick look here. No, maybe that's not very good. So for here, I'm going to select a grid, and maybe let's make this... Oh, hang on a minute. Where are we? Did I select the right one? Testimonials grid. Yeah. So down here, we want to adjust the row span. So here we have this set to 2. Let's set that to 2 as well. And that one to 2. Much better. Yeah, that's better. Save. Refresh. Yeah, that works. Inspect. And one thing we mustn't forget to do, obviously, is add our alt. Yeah, that's not too bad. We don't need to get too nitpicky with this. So we didn't add the alt here. We should have done this before duplicating this. One of the things I tend to do all the time. So alt author image. Yeah, author image. And then let's add another one. Aria label. No, that's not author image, is it? It's image of testimonial person. It doesn't really matter, but you can do this however way you wish. You can add, I'm sure you can be a lot more creative and add in the right values as well in here. Or if you didn't want to add a area label, you could, what's the other thing you could do? You could use, we wouldn't do this here, but for an icon maybe. Yeah, you wouldn't add this here, otherwise it would be, yeah. So we don't need to set this to aria hidden true. Okay, let's just stop. Let's carry on with this. Let's save. And so let's collapse everything very quickly and make sure that we've renamed everything here. Testimonial, yeah, that's fine. So I think we're on the final section, guys. Let's refresh this. Oh, what are we doing here? Well, that's the demo. Or is it not? No, that's another one. So, okay, so we're on the final section. So, which is, let's have a quick look at the demo here. This, pretty straightforward stuff. And so let's build this one. Let's go straight into our builder. I'm just going to quick look. Oh, we have something else that we didn't add in here. Let's have a quick look. Yes, we have a shade for this background, don't we? Getting ahead of myself again. So this one, testimonial section, we do have a shade because we gave it a class and we didn't add anything to the class. But we didn't really need to give it a class if we're just adding 1 or 2 styles to it. But background, let's use that. Okay, that's pretty cool. We could probably use the background dotted background. Would that work here? Yeah, we could use that. It looks pretty funky. No, I think I prefer to leave that just for the hero section. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the next one. So let's add another section in here, section followed by a div. And then this is using the same kind of, a 2-3 layout. Sorry, no. Let me just see what I have here. I can't remember. Collapse all columns. Yeah, it is a 2-3 layout. So columns 2-3. Let's add some divs inside here. This is going to have a class as well of ebook CTA sec. SEC for section, yeah? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. And we're going to add another shade to this. Slightly lighter shade than the primary color that we're using for the background. And so inside here, we're going to add an image of our ebook. Select image. Now for the, let's just rename some of this in here. So this is our ebook CTA section. And then we have our column, which is 2-3. Yeah, 2-3. Right div, left div. You can call it block or whatever else you want. So for the right div here, I'm going to set a height to this, I think. Sorry, not the right, the left. I've done it again. I've named it. Yeah, that's, I've done it again. Keep getting my left and rights messed up. Left div. I'll tell you why this is. Because I play a lot of video games in my spare time. And I have my controller settings the other way around. So left controls right, right controls left. And that is where I get messed up. It's from that. I swear it is from that. So left div, right div, left div. No class. We don't need a class. Size and spacing. Let's give this a height. I'm going to try 350 pixels. That looks lovely. Beautiful. So let's go to the next one here and add some elements inside here. We have a heading followed by a text. You know, I should just copy, duplicate and drag and drop, but let's just carry on with this. What else are we adding in here? A button. Button. Right. You've got to enjoy the process. That's what I always say. Otherwise, what is the point? So this is going to have our heading class, heading styles, and then this is going to be, or it's going to read. Actually, I'm just going to copy the text inside of my dummy site here because it's quite a bit. So let's go to here. And here we go. Now, let's just make sure that we have the right tags here. That's definitely cannot be a H1. So let's go for H2. H2, H2, H2. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so for the text, I have some dummy text here as well. And then I'm going to paste this inside here. So that is fine. And then for the button, we have two classes, pre-styled classes, button and button light. Button light somewhere here. And then we have our special class for our glow effect, which is hover glow. Maybe I should have named that button glow. Again, just to remind you that this class is a class that I've added to my main styles here. If I just come out of this. So here I have a button glow animation. It's a simple CSS keyframe with a class, and I have a transform box shadow at 0 to 100% and then 50%. And on the hover glow, I have set the animation to 2 seconds, infinite. That's all that is. So that little tiny piece of code has given us this cool little effect that we have for our button. It's like a pulsing, glowing effect. And I think it looks pretty good because it kind of grabs the user's attention, visitor's attention. And yeah, it looks quite good. I actually have something similar over on my website. If I go to my website here, so my Hire Me button uses the same little code snippet here, which is pretty cool. Right, let's change this by now. And then we could add, wrong one, $9.99. There we go. Let's add our classes to the text. So we have text styles. And then let's add our variable for our gap. So VAR, I'm going to type this one in, space M. I think it's space M, not space S. Definitely space M. Yeah. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's save that. The only thing we need to do now is we will need to check these other viewport sizes. And yeah, this is going to annoy the garbage out of me. So let's select the, let's do that again. Let's select the section for this. Let's go to advanced. Let's go to layout. And let's come down to overflow here and set this to hidden, like so. Perfect. Yeah, so we have a little bit too much space here, I think, maybe. I'm just going to select this and make sure that we have this set to the center here. Yeah, that's fine. So the space isn't too bad now. Maybe for the left div, let's reduce the height of this as well. Let's try 340. That's a bit better. Or, yeah. Now, the other thing I want to do, I think, is I could add a negative value to the image margin. Or is it the block? I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, I think it's the left. Left. Yeah, let's see if we can add a negative value of 40 pixels so that it's kind of flush up here. And then we have sufficient spacing at the top and bottom here. So yeah, let's save that and see what we have. So let's refresh. Wow, that soon transformed. And that looks pretty good. I like that. I'm pretty happy with that. We need to use our span classes for join other readers. Let's join 2000. And then we're going to select this piece of text, use our span class and our span color, tertiary. And yeah, I think that is it. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so let's check these other breakpoints. Acceptable, I would say. Not acceptable. Yeah, so here let's select the image. Yeah. So for here, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the block, I think, the left div. Yeah, just thinking. What could I do with this? My coffee's gone cold. Yeah, let's go to advanced. Let's go to layout. I'm going to go to position here and set this to, I have the left div, absolute. Let's add 0 here. And I'm going to add a value of 245 or maybe 250, I don't know. Let's try 250. Oh, very close. I guessed 245. What did I use? What did I use on the other one? I can't remember. Let me have a quick look. $225. Okay, so 245 works, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Leave it as it is there. So yeah, we go from here to here. That works. And for here, that doesn't really work. So I'm going to, we could set this to none. And then for here, yeah, that's fine. We don't really need to show the ebook here. Yeah, let me just have a quick look. Or we could set it back to flex here, I think. No. And then adjust the... No, do you know what? Let's leave that as it is. We'll set that to display none at this breakpoint here. So I'm going to... Oops, let's go back to the full screen. We've saved this. How many times have I saved this? I don't know. So let's go back to the front end and refresh, and let's just have a quick look. That's not too bad. So where's it gone from there? It's not, shouldn't it be here somewhere? Am I looking at the wrong one? Definitely not. It's there. It's definitely there. Oh, hang on a minute. One thing we've forgotten to do here. One thing we've forgotten to do. Yeah, for here, we want to go to the section. Let's go to layout and set the... I suppose we could have done this. Just having a quick look. Um, yeah. Yeah, we don't need to do this. I was just thinking maybe we could have done this at the full screen, but we can leave this here. Let me just refresh this and have another look. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's because I knew I'd forgotten to set the section to position relative. Okay, so that works fine. Let's continue resizing this, and then it vanishes here because we don't really need it here, do we? I like this. And I would say we've come to the end of this. Maybe we can adjust a few things here and there. And of course, we must not forget to add our attributes for our images, add our ARIA labels to elements such as the buttons. Okay. I don't think I have an ARIA label for my button here. Let's go to the ID here, attributes. Buy it now button. And then we can have another one here. Let's keep this ARIA Bale. Let's keep this simple. Subscribe button. And so on. And for these icons, we could use something like ARIA hidden true, maybe. Then we'll need to do the same for these other ones. Or maybe we can add it to, well, we don't have, it's not wrapped around a div, but we could wrap this, we could right click and wrap this inside of a div and then add the ARIA label to the div. Maybe we could do that. So yeah, let's save. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as it is. What have I just copied? And I think we've come to the end of this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We have our one-page landing page, but as I said, we can go ahead and continue tweaking this and making modifications and adding content, spacing, adjusting everything we want until we get it right. But yeah, that is that. Okay, so I think we have come to the end of this stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a little bit slow. I do apologize. I probably do go at snail pace, but yeah, I hope you found value in it. Now, if you are interested in this layout, this template, I will have it available at Van Marciano Pro. So if you're a Van Marciano Pro member, by the way, an Ultimate member, you can get access to all of the Oxygen and Bricks templates that we have. I am adding templates slowly, but this will be available to access, and the framework that I'm using as well will be available in an upcoming video that I'm adding to the site, where I'm sharing my framework for working with Oxygen Builder. So if you're interested in that, and if you're subscribed to my email newsletter, you'll get notified when I publish that post tutorial. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, until the next live stream, hopefully, I'll assess things and then decide whether I should continue creating some more. Of course, using other builders as well, not just Oxygen. We'll do some Bricks Builder ones as well, but certainly build videos, design videos. There doesn't seem to be very many design videos on YouTube using page builders. There's a lot of tutorial videos and overview videos of various features of these page builders and how to use this and how to use this plugin, this add-on, and how to create this, but there isn't really many design videos where you could just follow along. You could just get some ideas from, some inspiration from. That's the general aim of these live streams, is just to give you some inspiration as to what you can do with your own website. Okay, so that is that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And until the next one, take it easy and peace. Cheers.